The Indian games are a collection of openings defined by this move. White develops the knight toward the center. d5 gains space in the center and controls the e4 and c4 squares, developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. c5 takes space in the center, attacks the d4 pawn, and prepares to develop the knight behind the c pawn. e3 supports the d4 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. Black develops the knight and supports the center. Solid. Continuing with standard opening theory. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This blocks an attack on a pawn. The queen is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This moves the queen to safety. The better move was to develop a bishop and attack the center. This is the strongest option. This activates a piece and simultaneously wins time by attacking a queen. This move puts the queen on a safer square. This fianchettos the bishop by placing it on a powerful diagonal, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. Castling kingside tends to be safer than queenside because the king is further from the center. The better move was to attack the bishop with a pawn. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This is not the right idea. The game was close to equal, but now white has the advantage. This is the only move that works. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Recaptures from a previous move. Right on target. This attacks black's pawn chain. Black was worse off, but now they are in a losing position. A clear recapture. A strong choice. This threatens to checkmate the king. This prevents the opponent from being able to checkmate the king. This is the strongest option. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This is an equal trade. A straightforward recapture. White develops further. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack. By castling to the opposite side of the board, the game will tend to be more double-edged. This creates a strong formation that can lead to threats. This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. Very strong play. This doubles the rooks on a file, which allows them to team up to create threats. This calmly removes the pawn from an immediate threat. White still has an advantage, but White was better off, but now their position is winning. Advancing the pawns in front of the king can compromise the king's safety. This missed an opportunity to punish a mistake. The better move was to attack a pawn chain. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This calmly removes the rook from an immediate threat. This moves the bishop to safety. This is not the right idea. The best option was to connect rooks. There were worse moves, but also something much better. A solid choice. This moves the bishop to a better location, allowing it to control more squares. The rooks are coordinated and powerfully doubled on the file. This loses a pawn. This is the only good move. This evades the check from the rook. This captures a bishop and eliminates a threat. This challenges the other rook for control of the open file. White still has the better position, but they lost their winning advantage. A clear recapture. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. This allows the opponent to win a pawn through an eventual fork. This is a fair move. This evades the check from the rook. This is the only move that works. This removes a rook that was threatening to win material. The best option was to move a rook to safety. A straightforward recapture. This threatens to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. The better move was to create a passed pawn. This allows the opponent to force an isolated pawn. The better move was to force an isolated pawn. That's an unfortunate error. This is an equal trade. A clear recapture. Placing a king directly in front of the pawn and stopping its advance. One of the best moves. Right on target. Very strong play. Taking that pawn will win material after the follow-up trades are made. This calmly removes the queen from an immediate threat. A solid choice. This steps away from the checking queen. White will be winning a pawn with that fork. This steps away from the checking queen. One of the best moves. This steps away from the checking queen. Very strong play. This evades the check from the queen. A strong choice. This steps away from the checking queen. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This loses a queen, but the position was losing no matter what.